A very good evening, everybody. This is Gulf Harbour Radio, Patricia and David. It's ZMH 286. And we've had a variable day here, sometimes rain, sometimes sunny, sometimes rain, etc., etc., but no wind to speak of. Currently we have 14 degrees, which is not very charming. It is still from the north though, but the barometer is up to 1007.3, just slightly rising as that low is sort of deciding to move off. 1 knot from the north, and it's about now only about 30%, 25-30% cloud cover, but as I say, it has been variable. Much more pleasant today in Minerva, where there are 4 boats at North Minerva. Thanks to Rich and Michelle, we have a report of 4 knots from the southwest, no rain after all that they got yesterday, clear skies, and 1014. We'll miss them when they leave. Just a very short bit of news before we go to Lady Annabelle. If you are American and on Social Security, you have 60 days to return the form that you get once a year to check that you are still alive. I can't remember what you used to do with that because we wouldn't have been there when it arrived. But anyway, I'm sure you've got all that under control. And Scoots has reported they're down at Falanga. A tugboat has arrived at Falanga today. And it is very pleasant weather down there, light winds, so it should be a pretty good conditions for trying to remove the Navy boat from the reef. But they said that probably won't happen tomorrow because it's Sunday, and you know what Sundays are like in the islands, so maybe we'll see a lot of action on Monday. Thank you both for that on Scoots. Oh, well, we want pictures, says David.
Yeah,
we want pictures, yeah. And they've got some good pictures coming from down there. We've had a great picture from Scoots. It's really nice to see the blue sky that you guys have got. And then another boat sent an aerial shot. So we're certainly getting good information, and the pictures are doing the rounds once they get to us. Anyway, there are a lot of people still left in New Zealand, at least a dozen we've heard from. And so tonight David is going to talk about passage weather and what chameleon would likely do. But I would have to say, from my point of view, the fact that you are ready and the fact that you are chilly and the fact that you are bored does not follow necessarily a good passage. So you might be interested to have a listen as to what a possible departure early in the week would be as opposed to one later in the week. Okay, let's go and talk to Lady Annabelle, who are making good progress, almost at the 23 mark. Rachel, are you on frequency? Yeah, not too bad, but we've still got that snap, crackle and pop with all the weather going on between us. And I see that some of the boats that left from north of you, Coffs or thereabouts, the water mark is almost breaking the 20-degree mark. So they'll be getting sorted out there before you arrive. Go ahead, Rachel, over.
We are at 22 degrees 44 south, 173 degrees 44 east, 30 degrees magnetic bearing. We have no wind, boat speed of 6.5 knots. We are motoring. There is a rolling swell of about 0.5 of a metre, no speed gate. It is sunny, 26.2 degrees with clear skies. Over.
Well, apart from the no wind, what a lovely day you have had. 22 degrees 44 south, 173 44 east, on a course of 030 magnetic, 6.5 knots. And yeah, I'm just looking at where they say you are. No, the AIS is really behind tonight. I actually didn't check on what the timing was. 5 hours old. Okay, there you go. And they have no wind, so 6.5 knots is motoring. A rolling 0.5 metre sea, flat, no waves at all. And what else did I write down here? Oh, that's right. Freydis wants to talk to you after the net finishes, which won't be too long. So if you could stay on frequency, Adam and Rachel, to talk to Freydis. I'm not sure what their signal is going to be like, so we'll wait and see. I struggle with it a bit here. Anyway, sounds all good up there, Rachel, over.
Yes, all good, and I got the message about Friday. Thanks very much for the standby at the end.
Roger that. Okay, is there anybody else on passage? No, David. Oh, David wants to talk to Lady Annabelle.
That's what
Sorry.
We're just laughing amongst ourselves. Well, tomorrow's Sunday, and you're going to have a wind shift. We're going to see winds coming out of a northerly quadrant, north to northeast, and with that is a trough, fairly active. I see thunderstorms embedded in these clouds, and that is probably later on Sunday, not early Sunday. So I would say around this time tomorrow, maybe afternoon time frame. So be prepared for that wind shift and the possibility of thunderstorms, which means squalls. So that's the ticket for Sunday for Lady Annabelle. Over.
Romeo, thank you, David. It's consistent with our information. Over.
Oh, that's always a good sign, isn't it? And I don't know what I've hit on my AIS, but I've actually got something that shows your past track, and it says that you have got a current against you by the look of it, 339 degrees true, and it's 0.36. How I got that, I have no idea. And what's more, I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, is there anybody else who wants to check in before we go to the outlook for the passage weather? Oh, that's good. I've got you really well tonight. So, Lady Annabelle, did you copy Lady Annabelle over?
Not enough to talk to them, because if you could just relay that, we won't get them on this. We'll talk to them tomorrow on WhatsApp.
Okay, you can't copy them well enough but you will contact them tomorrow. And I missed how you would be contacting them. Is that on the radio? Over?
Yeah, no, it's okay. We've been contacting on WhatsApp. So thank you anyway. Maybe when they get a bit closer.
Yeah, you've got a good signal tonight, so you'll contact them on WhatsApp tomorrow. Okay, now there was something else. Oh, that's right. Y2K and Pico are in Rotuma, which I think I mentioned is at 12 degrees 29 south and 177 degrees 07, where they have got 7 knots of east-southeast, 1010 on the bar, and 29 degrees, and no personnel to check them in. So that is a bit of a problem there. They all seem to have vacated to Fiji. Maybe they're trying to help the ship get off the Phalanga or something. I don't know. But anyway, that is a bit of a problem in Rotuma, and so they may be looking at moving on tomorrow because they can't leave the boat. And of course Sundays are nothing happens, and often nothing much happens on a Monday. So anyway, Y2K and Pico may be on the go tomorrow. Right, let's go to David, who is going to probably talk about those that are really desperate to get going and thinking of Monday, but you might want to see what Chameleon would do. Anyway, here is David. Ta-dam.
Oh, hey, some music. I want to have a little bit of music here. Yeah, well, Monday. Chameleon, that's us. I don't think we would leave the dock on Monday. And the reason for that is we've got a fairly aggressive depression that's in the Tasman, and we're getting quite a bit of northwesterly winds. I'm looking at Monday morning, breakfast time, Monday morning. Quite a bit of precipitation in this, and we also have a high just to the east of East Cape. It's not very strong. It's at 1024, but it's creating a bit of a squash zone, which is mainly the East Cape area and toward the date line, but still it is compressing the isobars up where Marsden and Opua happens to be. But anyway, that's the story for Monday. Northwest winds, maybe northwest. If you left, you certainly would have some pretty rough conditions. Westerly swell 2.5 to 3 meters, and of course the winds are cyclonic. And really, regardless of what you happen to see looking out the window, whenever you have cyclonic winds, you can expect showers. It's almost a given when that happens. Whether or not they are just light showers or heavy showers, you can't really tell, other than the fact that's usually what those type of winds bring. So Tuesday, well, that's a different story. So say you did leave on Monday and you're heading north via however, and the winds are going to get quite light all of a sudden on Tuesday. Still north, about 10 knots. The swells still out of the west, maybe 2.5 meters. And showers. You're probably going to have some showers. Well, then comes Wednesday. Southwest winds could be 10 to 15, or they could be east 25. That sounds pretty stupid, but the reason for that is there is a low that is forming approximately 30 south and the date line. And so that is going to be, depending upon where you happen to be and depending upon exactly where that low is forming, that's the reason for the discrepancy that the models are showing on the wind direction. So if you left on Monday, by Wednesday you would be encountering this. Moving on to Thursday, if you are around 30 or 32 south, winds, you could expect them to be southeasterlies now, about 20 knots. And there's also a trough involved. And the reason for the trough is that we have a high that is meeting a depression. And that will all occur on the western edge of the low, or depression, if you will. So we're going to get precipitation, convection, precipitation, southwest swells up to 3 meters, and of course you're going to have cyclonic winds because of that low that's forming. And that low should be about, well, it should be about 32 south and maybe 171 west, just on the other side of the date line. And yeah, that's probably about where that's going to be. Then Friday, Saturday, if you happen to be as far north as Minerva or a little bit south of Minerva, you break free of all of this nasty weather. Everything, life is good at that point. You could expect light winds south to southeast. In fact, Friday and Saturday, those winds would hold all the way up to Fiji if you wanted to bypass Minerva and just head up to Fiji. And then looking at Sunday, the models are all in disagreement for Sunday, and the reason for that is they just will be, because that's too far out for them to be accurate. The data is not going to be, they're not going to have enough data to initiate these models to your satisfaction. So what else could you do if you don't leave on Monday? Could you go Wednesday? I don't think so. I don't think we would go on Wednesday. And the reason for that is all that activity that I mentioned that's just to the north of New Zealand. And so Thursday, well, that's not great. It's doable, I suppose. If you do leave, the winds would be fairly reasonable, direction and speed, not so much to worry about. But you do have a little bit of a frontal band that you'll encounter as you head from New Zealand toward the direction of Minerva or Fiji. The probable time to leave could very well be a week from now, Saturday or Sunday, 22nd, 23rd. Now we do have an elongated low over New Zealand. In other words, a single isobar going in a clockwise direction encompasses the entire country. And we've seen that a couple of times in the last month where that has happened. Well, it's going to happen again, it looks like, if the models are correct, on Sunday. So that means if you left, you'd have southwest winds up around Opua or Marsden. This is offshore now, not close in, offshore a bit. So that's not bad. That puts the wind basically behind you on your quarter, maybe. At that time, there's a 1024 high that is over the southeastern part of Australia, southeastern part of Australia, and that is extending a ridge toward Minerva. So that's good news, definitely good news on the Sunday time frame. So our way of thinking at this point is that might be the target if you're willing to wait that long. So anyway, you make your decision, you take your chances, and you get what comes. That's how we look at it. So we'll know more day by day. The models will be changing their minds, and we'll be happy to let you know to the extent of that. And, well, I think that's it. I'll give it back to the chief.
Okay, and you can all be like the Islanders and not do anything tomorrow and have a think and see what you decide to do. There was no questions on streaming, so is there anybody on air that wants to add anything on that topic or any other topic? Please call now. Well, hello Max, and hello to Pico up there in Rotuma, and it looks like it's a very pleasant place to be if you can get off the boat. I looked at YouTube today, and there was a really nice presentation of all around Rotuma, but that assumed that you could go and see it all. How are you, Max? And hello to Ali.
First of all, tonight you arrived so strong. It is 5 by 9 plus 10 sometimes, so very, very strong. And here it's quite good. As you see, it rained a lot last night. Today it was half and half, so some sun and some rain. We thank God we can swim around the boat and have some snorkeling. We have the permission from the police to do that, but for that we cannot go ashore. We are still here with the yellow flag. So tomorrow morning we decide to leave and go directly to Sabu Sabu. Over.
Good.
Okay, sounds good. We lay in bed this morning looking at your email and decided that's what we would do as well. So you're departing tomorrow morning for Savu Savu, and you've had a good swim around. It looks like from your email it still looks like bath water to me, but here's David.
All right, Max, good to hear your voice. And yeah, there looks like you'll have a few thunderstorms tonight and into tomorrow morning. Looking at around breakfast time, yes, it could be a little bit active, but the winds are coming out of the east, maybe just slightly north of east if that's possible. But anyway, that would be a good direction for you to head down to Savu Savu. And then looking at when those clouds disappear, a little bit later in the morning, I think you'll have a break, and then as the day rolls on into the afternoon, most of those big, tall, nasty clouds are gone, and it looks like you'll just have a scattering of cumulus and a few showers here and there. That's late on Sunday, and then looking into Monday, it looks clear. I don't see any precipitation on Monday. The winds are going to remain pretty much out of the east, slightly south of east, I would think, but not strong. Certainly doable for you and Pico. And yeah, I think that's a good move, Max. Over.
Thanks, David. Good to know. Yeah, if there is some thunderstorm tomorrow morning and the wind shifts to northeast, it's good to gain some heat during the sailing. So I hope something is coming, but not so strong. So just
Yep, roger that. He's just looking at what the weather will be like Tuesday morning. You are strength 8 to 9 and peaking at 10 over. A really, really good signal from Rotuma. Stand by.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, Max, just as you round the corner of Vanuatu, it looks like about 12 to 15 knots, and they're still out of the east. So that's pretty amazing that you're able to get winds like that. Usually they're southeast, and usually when you make a trip like that, boy, everybody gets really sick and tired of looking at southeast winds and beating. But no, this passage for you looks very, very good in that regard. So yeah, Tuesday morning, good show. Over.
Oh, thanks God. Finally, this man find a good window should be great. Thanks, David, because you are a great teacher.
Well, let's just wait for the thank yous until you get there. Maybe it's because Pico, Andreas, and Sandra are with you, so better keep them along for the ride. Okay, and hi to Ali. And wow, what a great signal tonight. We'll clear with Y2K. Is there anybody else? No, all is peaceful and quiet, and so we will leave you to have a very pleasant evening. Oh, here we are. Thank you for the passage thoughts. This is from Rusilla. We are hoping for the 22nd to 23rd. They're leaving from Marsden. All right, well, we'll still be looking as the days go by, and that is certainly what David was looking at too. Okay, cheers everybody, and have a good night, have a good Sunday, and we'll talk to you tomorrow evening. This is Gulf Harbour Radio Clear, and the frequency is yours if you want it.